Thank you, Chapter, for sponsoring this video. Unfortunately, working with a financial advisor can easily cost a family tens of thousands of dollars a year. And in today's video, I want to share with you some free online tools that can help you make better decisions as you're planning for and living in retirement. I do think the gold standard is to work with a fiduciary financial advisor, but these tools are really powerful as well and can help you. The first one I like is called Honest Math. You can find it at honestmath.com. And what I like about it is it's super high level, it's simple to use. And when you're 10 years away from retirement, 5 years away from retirement, maybe 3 years away, it gives you a feel for how you're doing. And importantly, it gives you free access to something called a Monte Carlo simulation, which is a tool that helps give you insight into the probability that you'll run out of money during your retirement, right? That's something none of us want to do. So you can see this somewhat complicated chart here with the light blue shaded area and then that dark blue line. That's a Monte Carlo simulation. They statistically run 10,000 lifetimes based on different scenarios and show you the percent of time you'd be at the bottom end of that light curve, the percent of time you'd be at the top end of that. And it's a super powerful tool. So that's the first one I like. Now, that said, I would not use honestmath.com personally. I would not make the I'm ready to retire decision using honestmath.com. For that, I would use software by Bolden. Bolden used to be called New Retirement. And New Retirement Bolden goes into more detail and allows you to run different scenarios so that you can make a better informed decision as you get closer to retirement. You can see Bolden has a basic plan, and that plan is free. The plan that makes sense for most people is the Planner Plus. It's super affordable. It's $10 a month. This video is not sponsored by Bolden, but I am an affiliate. If you use the link here or the link in the description, you'll be supporting the channel. But super powerful software, easy to use, and it's my favorite tool. Okay, the next free online tool is actually something to help us with one of the most important decisions that all of us make, and that's about our Medicare options. Now, when we first qualify for Medicare at 65, we have a lot of important decisions to make, whether we're going to do traditional Medicare Part A and Part B, or if we're going to do Medicare Part C, which are the Advantage plans. Also, Medicare Part D is your drug plan. So things can get pretty complicated, both when you initially join, but then each year you have decisions that you can make. And it's important to have somebody by your side to help you guide you through this. For instance, your Part D, which is your drug coverage, that can change every year. The medications that you need to take can change. The medications that are covered, the cost can change. So having somebody by your side that has access to information that can help you make the best decision, I think is important. The online service I like is the sponsor of today's video, Chapter. You can see Medicare Made Simple, and you can take a quiz to find out the right Medicare plan for you by clicking on this link here. So thank you, Chapter, for sponsoring this video. It's an enormously important decision. Fidelity actually tells us that the average American after the age of 65 needs to plan on about $155,000 in expenses that are not covered by Medicare. So get as much of that covered as possible by making the right choices. And again, the service I suggest, which is no cost to the consumer, is Chapter. Okay, the next one, and this is a bit of an aside, but I think really important. One of the key things for retirement is maintaining your health. None of us want to lose our health in retirement. None of us want to be bedridden. None of us want to be watching 40, 50, 60 hours a day of television because we can't get off the couch and do things. So maintaining our health is really important. And the two apps that I like that are free or at least offer a free service, the first one is myfitnesspal.com. And that will help not just with your exercise, but also with your nutrition, and doctors and people that are an expert in this area say, 90% of the battle is in the kitchen, 90% of the battle is with our nutrition. So, um, these have some really good databases that can easily track, and so you can see how many grams of fat we're eating a day, how many grams of salt we're eating a day, how many calories we're eating a day. So myfitnesspal.com, and the other one is called Chronometer. I've used both of these. They're both excellent. They both offer free plans, and they both offer premium plans. Okay, the next free tool is actually a book, and it gets back to the Medicare question. How do we become informed on Medicare? And I have read hundreds, maybe thousands of articles on Medicare. And the book that I like the best, which is really an in-depth article, is a book written by Ari Parker. It's called It's Not That Complicated. And you can find that book on Amazon. It's only a 1-hour read, and you will leave it being much better informed as an individual on your Medicare choices and the choices that are super important. Ari is actually a co-founder of Chapter, which is the company that I mentioned earlier that is the sponsor of this video. You can find his book on Amazon, or you can get a free copy of the book at this link here. Again, it's only a 1-hour read. So these are really important free tools, but I think the most important thing is really our mental attitude and how we go into retirement and how we think about retirement. And too many of us coast through what I call the youth of our senior years, the time from we're 50 to, let's say, 70. And the default in the United States is to wait until we're 65 to retire. But unfortunately, first off, at 60, most of us have less than 1,000 weeks of healthy active time remaining. And the World Health Organization says that the average American loses their health at just 65.1 years old. I'm sorry, 66.1 years old. That's just 13 months after when most of us retire. And I don't know about you, but I want a lot more time in my retirement, healthy, active, fun, adventurous time than just 13 months. It's one of the reasons I decided to retire early. Candidly, the decision to retire at 59 was really hard for me. I was a little, like most of us, a little fearful about giving up my paycheck. But what I did know was that 65-year-old Azul would be grateful to 59-year-old Azul that I had the courage to make the leap and to retire sooner and to begin that transition into retirement. So I think that's the most important free tool. And frankly, it's YouTube. And it's listening to videos, hopefully like this, that get you to think about, to get you to be thoughtful and deliberate about when you're going to retire. Retiring at 65, retiring before 65, retiring after 65 is not right for everybody, but you do want to be thoughtful and deliberate about when you decide to retire. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this, the YouTube algorithm says this is the next video of mine specifically for you that you should watch next. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.